And hello, right on the button. Good to see everybody. And let me open my screen a little bigger here. How are you? Sort of great looking crowd today. What's up, Matthew Taylor? Peace out. Matthew Stewart, man. I need to get Luke. What's up, Luke Voles? Good to see you, man. Jeffrey De Jesus. Shay signed up a new agent. Congratulations, Shay. I saw that. So many good things happening, but let's get this party started. So today I want to talk to you about something called sunshine and rain. Write down those two things. What's up, Jackson from Chico? What's up, buddy? So sunshine and rain. Everybody loves the sunshine. We all love the sunshine. And it's great, but you know, the sun is helps things grow, but without water, things die. And what brings water is the rain. Oh, it's raining. Rain's an important part of life, right? And so, you know what? There's nobody who made it. I remember FedEx, this FedEx story, the founder of FedEx, he got to the point where he did not have money to make payroll. Now, I'm not saying to do this, but he's like, we're going to go bankrupt, or I'm getting on a plane, flying to Las Vegas and putting it all on one hand of blackjack. It's a true story. Read his book. He bet the entire company payroll on one hand of blackjack. He won. They made payroll and they barely eked it out. If you watch Mrs. Fields cookies, raise your hand if you do this to me, if you've ever had a Mrs. Fields cookie at the mall. Mrs. Fields cookies, any of you, some of you? Yep. Well, guess what? When she started, she was in a little strip mall, one Mrs. Fields cookies. She was in the elbow of the strip mall, kind of back in there. They had little like planter boxes, and she was just kind of a bad location. She got so desperate, she put all of her cookies on a platter, and she went out at lunchtime as people were walking by her cookie place and saying, hey, try one of my cookies. They're free. People are like, get away from me, you weird woman. I'm not eating just grabbing a cookie off your platter, you weirdo. But she humbled herself and she said, please, this is my store. Just taste one of my cookies. And she barely made it, begging people to have a piece of a chocolate chip cookie. But she did, but she went through the storm. She went through the rain. The founder of FedEx, I guarantee Jeffrey Bezos with his 400-foot yacht with the big sails on top, and then he's got a supply boat that chases it 285 feet, filled with wine and whatever he wants. That's just a supply yacht to chase his big yacht. But you know, you look at all that, go, oh, it must have been great. I bet you there were some dark days. I bet you there were some rainy moments. I know people right now on this Zoom that are going through some dire times. Some of you, it's financial. Some of you, it's spiritual. I remember when Randy Bird pulled over in the side of the road and called my pastor. He said, man, something's missing in my life. And he was like trying to figure out that God-sized hole that God put in his heart. And some of you, it's finances. I've been there. I've borrowed money from people to pay my bills at 34 years old. You know, now I get to be in a position where I get to help people, but I've been there, and it's not fun to ask. And it's not fun not to have the money to pay it back. It's not fun to go through hard times. But let me tell you, tough times never last, but tough people do. Write that one down. Tough times never last, but tough people do. And when I look back on my life, yep, those times where I sold 55 homes were great. And those times in a month, 400 homes in a year, and winning the Quantum Leap Award at Craig Proctor as the #1 Craig Proctor student in the entire Craig Proctor. Those are great things. But what makes you stronger and better is struggle. Like your kids, when they ask for a convertible BMW, done. They want a Jeep, done. Give me a credit card so I can take my friends to lunch and buy beer on the week, done. You know, do you just give them whatever they want? It's like, nope, you don't. Why? Because you spoil them. You actually make them weak. You look at Paris Hilton, right? You look at trust fund kids, you know, I was talking to someone yesterday about estate planning with Brett Schwartz, Matthew Schwartz's brother. And he's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I go, man, I'm going to give it all away to charity. My kids, they got to go earn it. I am not going to set my kids up to do nothing. They got to go fight, and we'll help them buy their first house, and we'll help them do some things, right? But they're going to have to go earn it. And I told my kids, don't plan on having much. We've all been in real estate. You met those kids. Well, when my parents die, I'll inherit X. Well, how old are they? Oh, they're 55. They might live a little longer than you're thinking. Have you, any of you met those people? And it's disgusting. Like, well, when my mom dies, when my dad dies, and they're like, why would you just die? I mean, that is, I don't want my kids to wish my death, right? And so, man, why am I talking about this? Here's why. Good times and bad. Good times make weak people. You need some, God sprinkles in the bad times to create strength in you. You think everybody in this thing's just got it so good. Listen to me. We all struggle. I struggle. You think, oh yeah, maybe not with the financial part, okay? But there's other things. People have anxiety. They fight depression. There's family, faith, finances, fun, fitness. There's all the different 5 F's, right? And so faith, where are you? Where are the areas? And then reach out. So how about this one? Write this down: winning and losing. I heard a great talk today. You're not winning and losing, you're winning and learning. Like if you can learn from when you lose out on a listing, or they list the building with somebody else. They list the $10 million listing with somebody else. Always do a forensic audit. Humbly go to them and go, man, I'm so excited you're listing the $10 million building with somebody else. I'm so excited you listed the $3 million, your beautiful home with somebody else. I mean, that is awesome. You obviously found someone that you felt was more capable than me, and I'm impressed, but here's the deal. This is how I make my living. I'm going to work hard to bring you a buyer for your home. I'm going to try to help you sell this, even though I'm not the listing agent, but I want to learn. Shay, why did you list with Coldwell Banker? Like, what was it that made you choose Luke Voles or Jeffrey DeJesus over me? Because I want to learn. Like, obviously they did something, let's be honest. They did something that I didn't do. And I'm humbling myself right now, Randy Bird, Coach Bird. And I really want to know, Jackson, I really want to know, what was it that they did that I did so I can learn and be better? I'm excited for you. You got somebody good. And oh yeah, that was nothing. You were great. I go, no. There had to be something. And I'm really asking. This is how I make a living for my family. I want to know. I want to get better and improve. And when you kind of push through that a little bit, they go, well, tell you the truth, boom, 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 boom. Do not argue with them. Because listen to me, they're speaking the truth, their reality. Well, I wasn't that late. I wasn't that unorganized. I wasn't dressed that shabbily. I didn't, I listened a lot. You said I talked to, I listened a lot. No, write it down and go, okay, I'm going to work on that. And that's where you go from victim to victor. Victim's like, well, doggone it, I got beat by Remax. I got beat by a Compass agent, stupid Compass agent, stole my listing. Nobody stole anything. You just need to get better. Here's what you need to say. A worthy opponent. And then you go, okay, Steve Jones, I got you, baby. We're going to figure this out, Jason Hamilton. And so you got to learn. So write this down: self-respect and self-loathing. How many of you met someone who really hates themselves that's able to add to the room? They're so miserable, and they just walk in the room and brighten it up. So I think it's easy to loathe our bodies, your nose, your face, wish it was thinner, your height, I'm so short, I'm too tall, right? You think those two tall guys got it made? You ever go to the restroom in a plane? You're like, I'm 6'2" and I'm leaning back. It's hard for a guy. I can't imagine a 6'6" guy. I mean, I don't even know how they do it. I want to ask him, how do you go? Never mind, I'm off topic. But everyone has their struggles. You can admire their height. Trust me, they don't, when they're leaning back at American Airlines and their head's sticking out the door, never mind. All right, so here's the deal. self-respect, So how do I get self-respect? If you're there, do you respect yourself? And I think the way you get self-respect is you power through the rain. You power through the mud. You power through the slog. You chin up and you look up and you thank God for your struggle. You actually thank him. Like, how I won't thank him for this. He's allowed it to happen. No, he's not, doesn't get his jollies off torturing you. Nope. He's allowing you to walk through these struggles, just like you walk your kids through the struggles. I mean, they're over there working on their bike, and they can finally just take the bike because the chain's derailed, just throw it, stupid bike. Is that what we want to see our kids do? Or we want to see them try to get the chain back on, but it was like, Dad, I tried my hands. Can you help me down? Sure. You asked. I'm like, no, I don't have time for you. Figure it out. Is that what I do? So let me ask you a question. Do you ask God for help, or do you got this one? You got it. I got it. I don't need anybody. I don't need help from anyone. I don't need God. I don't need your help. I got this. I hate asking people for help. That's not me, by the way. I love asking people for help. Asking people for help is a sign of humility. When you got it, you're a very prideful person. I don't need anybody's help. I don't need anybody's charity. I don't need anything. I hate asking people for help. You're a very proud person and you're going to fall. When you have your cap in hand and say, I need some help learning Spanish. Can you tutor me? I live in Puerto Rico. I'm working on my Spanish. People go, I can't believe you asked. I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's practice right now. In fact, you teach me English, I'll teach you Spanish. It's kind of fun. But listen to me. You have not because you ask not. Are you on your knees asking God to heal your marriage, to help you with the finances? Are you praying over your son, your daughter, right? Are you praying over the people you sponsor? I pray, God, if you want to be the XP, awesome. I'd love to have them here. And if you want them to stay at Berkshire Hathaway for 30 years, awesome. I don't think everyone's supposed to be here. I don't. I think God's smart enough. He has certain people at Coldwell Banker for a reason to touch somebody's life. Well, I want them here. They can touch my life. I got it. But you got to trust God. God knows what's best. And sometimes God's had you at Remax for a reason, for a season. I heard a great speaker today. I think Travis sent me this. Tyler Perry. He said this. He says, people come into your life for a season. And sometimes they're like boosters. They kind of bolster you up. And he used that analogy of a rocket going into space. And if you see, they attach boosters to it. And it goes up way, way high. Then the boosters fall away. And the rocket continues on into space, higher and higher. He says, it's not because they're bad people that they fall out of your life. They were actually there to help you get to where you are, but they're just not going where you're going. I thought it was really good. They're not ready to go where you're going yet. And you love them and you're grateful for them. But, I thought that was interesting. And so self-respect, self-loathing. If you want self-respect, you need to, head to the gym and pay the price and struggle through it to have the health and the vitality you want. You need to, like I look at Matthew Stewart and his wife, Lexi. They attended Dave Ramsey courses. Now, I don't particularly love the guy, but he understands finances. He does. And then they actually did what they taught him to do. And as they were doing it, they actually taught a class on how to get control of your finances. And real quick, Matthew didn't know I was going to do this. Unmute yourself, Matthew.
Yep.
What are some key things that you achieved in your first 2, 3, 4 years of marriage that most people go the opposite direction because you passionately dug in, and I'm sure it wasn't convenient to have dinner at Taco Bell or to, where you really got control of your finances. But what are some things that happened as a result of you guys getting serious about your finances?
Yeah. So single mom of 3 kids on food stamps. I was getting back into real estate, had no money. I brought 80-something thousand of debt into the marriage. We had 100,000 between the two of us. And we paid off over $100,000 in the first 12 months of our marriage. And that was me getting back into real estate and her on food stamps and getting off that, and us just putting our nose down and just going for it. As Dave says, being gazelle intense. And that means every morning that cheetah wakes up looking for that weak gazelle. And that would be the debt collector or the, so on. And that gazelle must outrun that cheetah, or else that gazelle doesn't have another day. And so he says it's the same way with the people going after your finances and how hard you work. You're literally work so hard to bring it in, and then it just flows right back out in interest and all this stuff you're paying, that you need to be gazelle intense to, that your life depends on it. So we took it serious. And, today we've been blessed. We're debt free other than our houses and rentals. We have mortgages still, but, other than that, we don't
have
car
Did you
debt.
see that? Other than our houses and our rentals, plural, and they have rentals, plural. And she was on food stamps. Now they've been married for 40 years, 30 years. How long have you been married now, Matthew?
7 years.
Oh yeah, 7 years. Anyways, I digress. So food stamps, $87 worth of debt. Now they have home and rentals, and they're debt free other than their mortgages. By the way, they travel all over the world with us now. We don't pay for them. They can afford to go, and we're like, oh yeah, no, we can't afford it. They can always afford it because they live within their means, and they embraced it. So when you do that about your marriage, like I have a book right over there called Love, Friendship, and Sex. I like the sex part. Anyways, so there's this book by Mark Driscoll that talks about love, being a friend. It talks about sex. I know you guys don't ever talk about sex in your marriage, and it's a non-issue. And for us too, we've never ever had any issues. We've been married 32 years. It's awesome. Yeah, right. Anyway, so here's the deal. I mean, my wife deserves a medal, right? She's married to me. And you think, trust me, it's not fun being married to me. I'm completely crazy. I could throw a party at the drop of a hat. Like, where'd the mariachi band came from? Oh, I met them out front and they're good. Now they're in our house. Anyway, so Matthew, congratulations. And so, by the way, I just have a question for you. Lexi, what was she doing for a living when you married her? I really don't know that answer. I think I know, but what was she doing?
When we were dating, she didn't have a job.
Okay, but after you.
I actually, when I got back into real estate, I got her into the title business. So she's a title rep now, and she learned that from nothing.
How soon did she become a title rep after you got married?
Towards the end of our first year, if I remember correctly. So she's been a little over 6 years title rep now. I'm telling you right now, there are title reps, home warranty reps on food stamps right now. There are people that, they put on the smile, the happy show. But when you could do this, everyone write this down. This is going to really help you. And you've heard it before, but I think you forget and you need to be reminded. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I'll say it again. People don't care how much you know. You're like, EXP. List with me. Yeah, whatever. Until they know how much you care. So you need to go beyond the fact sheet for EXP, your listing presentation. You need to go beyond. I've gone on listings where a couple's getting divorced, and I'm talking to them. I'm like, man, my wife and I went through a hard time 3 years ago. I didn't live at home for 8. Really? You too? I go, yeah, man, you guys sure you want to do this? So, I don't know. I mean, go back. I go, please don't list your home with me today. Do you go to church? Well, often. I go find a church. Go get some marriage counseling. I'm going to tell you that couple's still married today. Woo! And I didn't go for the kill and the 6% listing on a couple that was going through this. And so here's the deal. When you truly care about, I remember this one time during the crash, it was 2009. Market didn't recover till April 2011. 2009, and this single mom with 5 kids, basically my wife if we didn't make it. She worked for Caltrans. She finds her dream home in Lincoln. She can never afford it. It's a 5,000 square foot Victorian home in downtown Lincoln. And she watched it go from $795 to $695 to $595 to $545. And she called me. She says, Brent, I'm ready. I'm excited. I want this house. Can you help me write an offer on it? And $545 back in the crash, Matthew will tell you, and Pam and those that are in Sacramento, is a good price sale. Homes had dropped down to, 190, 240, 280, 545
rock and roll. And I said, absolutely, let's do this. And she goes, I just have one question for you before we write the offer. I'm like, yeah, sure, shoot. She goes, I have 5 kids. I'm a single mom. I have a decent income at Caltrans, but I can't make a mistake. I just really need to be smart. As much as I want this house, do you think we're at the bottom of the market? And I'm going to tell you, it was a bloodbath in 2010. I thought about it. I go, nope. She goes, what do you mean? She goes, that home's going to drop another 100 grand. She said, what? I go, that home's going to go in the 4s. No problem. She goes, are you serious? I go, yep. She goes, so probably not the best financial move for me to buy this house. I go, it's a terrible idea. And so she did not buy that house. And that thing went down to 390. And she got that house at 390 instead of 545. Now I didn't get a commission. And the sad part of that story is she did buy from somebody else years later, and it's okay. Like, oh, that's terrible. God has blessed me in so many ways I can't even tell you, with deals from the left. See, what you do in secret will be shouted from the rooftops. Like write this down. Everyone write down. Write the word principle. Write it down. Before profit. God knows what you need. You don't need that 545 sale if it's the wrong sale. You don't need to be in business with that guy or that gal. Listen to the still small voice that says, don't do it. Every time you go past those warning signs, you're going to regret it. Some people call it intuition. I call it the Holy Spirit. God's speaking to you saying, don't cross that line. Don't go, don't drink this, don't do that, don't go over there with these people, don't go to that party. You're like, oh, I'm going to go to the party. And then you go to the party and think, like, I can't believe that happened. You didn't listen. You blew past the warning signs. And when I do weird stuff, if God says, pick up the trash, I pick up the trash. Says, put the shopping cart back, I put the shop. I listen. I walk into my Regis, and sometimes there's 4 or 5 pieces of paper on the ground where someone was messy and they just couldn't find the trash can. And I'll go get a piece of paper and I grab it all and I put in the trash can because God says, pick that up. And I go, no, God, I'm not picking it up. Psh, I'm out. I could leave. I didn't put it there. But I listen and I obey. And I think when you listen and God says, call Jason Hamilton, call Dylan Tanaka, call Andre LaFountain. You call. And there's a new book out called The 5-Second Rule. If you can, do it in 5 seconds. It's like, oh, I should have done this. I should have done this. You can't always do it in 5 seconds, but if it puts on, just do it. Tony Robbins says, take swift, immediate action. Take immediate action. If it lines up with your principles and your core values and it's on track, let's go. Let's go. There's an intensity and a focus. And you know how you feel when you do it? You feel good. It creates endorphins, and you have self-respect because you came up with the plan, you executed on the plan, and it doesn't even matter who said yes, who said no. You feel good. I did the open house Saturday and Sunday. I feel good. And guess what? You put yourself in the path of progress. Chris Okamura, I convinced him to do EXP years ago. He quit his job as a general manager for Berkshire Income. He goes, I know he's making $8,000, $9,000 a month to zero. So he's like, okay, how do I survive? Brain, God, whatever. How do I survive? You can ask, you should for sure ask the Lord. But if you're not a Christian, that's cool. Just ask yourself, it's good. And his brain gave him the answer, or God. I'm not sure who Chris asked, but he said, do 30 open houses in 30 days. I've never met anyone in my life who did 30 open houses in 30 days. And Chris did 30 open houses in the next every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And he made his office these vacant homes. And he did them out in Loomis and Granite Bay and Newcastle and Rockland and East Roseville and Whitney Ranch and people from Sacramento. These are very nice areas. And he was just out there. He put himself, write this down, in the path of progress. I have a question for you. Are you putting yourself in the path of progress? And Tony Robbins says this, not only to take a swift immediate action, he says, take massive action. Take massive action. So there's action and there's inaction. When you think about what you should be doing and you don't do it, like I should apologize to my husband. I was an ass. I should apologize to my wife. I have this thought a lot. My wife will say, you are really good at apologizing. I know, because I have to do it a lot. And it's humble. Like I literally we were at a light fixture show buying, we were not buying an Airbnb, but we found a condo on the beach for $138,000. How could I say no? He's like, do you want to see? I go, no, just we'll wire the money. We bought it like a pair, like some Cheetos or a pair of socks. And it's like a beachfront condo, 138. He goes, it's a total gut. I go, no problem. How much? 60 grand. So we're in it all in 198. It's done. It's now looks like that we took the Ritz-Carlton, we put everything in a Ritz-Carlton hotel room in our condo. It's like you're staying at the Ritz. It is, I mean, literally the same stone, the same look. It's cool. And so if you guys come visit, you can stay at our little place right on. I could walk there 300 yards from where I live here. Why am I telling you this? So we're at the light fixture thing, and I got a little amped up. I get a little fired up, and I'm like, hi, I hate those. Those are terrible. Let's see this. And unfortunately for my wife, I like art. I like interior design. I like clothes. I'm like a weirdo. I like to shop. Like, I actually like to shop. Now I'm a buyer. I'll go in and go boom, 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 boom. I shop quick. I never try anything on ever. Like, do you want to try it on? I know my size, right? We're guys. We just know our size. We'll take it. And like, well, here's the receipt. I go, trust me, I'm never coming back here. I don't need the receipt. It's going in the trash or Goodwill, or I'm giving it to someone if this doesn't work out. It's just me. I've always been that way. But I did get hyped up, and I behaved poorly with my wife in there. And I was a little too amped up. And she goes, no, you're not doing that to me. I said, you're right. I said, I'm sorry, babe. You're totally right. That was super inconsiderate of me. And it was. I don't remember what it was, but I copped to it immediately. I said, baby, would you forgive me? I'm sorry. And she goes, yes. And we hugged. Now, Orlando, who's our Puerto Rican employee, he's also, he owns a car. We shuttle people back and forth from the airport. He owns like 7 drivers, 7 cars. His wife has a restaurant. He does remodeling. He also sells real estate. I mean, he does like 9 different things. Orlando's like, oh my gosh, Brent. I go, what? He goes, I learned so much from you. He goes, what? He goes, when I get mad, I'm Puerto Rican. He goes, I stay mad all day, all night. He goes, I can barely apologize that night, if not the next morning. He goes, I need to learn from you, Brent. He goes, I saw that, and then you kind of owned it, and then you really did a good job apologizing, and she forgave you. He was like incredulous. He goes, I'm going to try that. He goes, I just don't know if I can. I get so mad. He goes, but you were kind of mad, but then you switched. And so what am I telling you is when you blow it on a real estate deal, own it. When you blow it in your family with your husband or your wife, or own it quickly. Don't go to bed mad at each other. Own, but it's her fault. Well, what can you own in that deal? Well, I could probably earn this. Then own it and apologize and humble yourself. Well, she apologizes, I'll apologize. You're headed for divorce court. When he apologizes, I'll apologize. You guys are done. You cannot live your life like that. So there's action, there's inaction. When you think about what you should be doing, you should apologize and you don't. And you stay mad. I tell you what, we do this thing, write this down, permission to start over. We do it all the time. Whenever things just start going south, I just go, babe, I'm sorry. I blew it. I apologize. I go, and she forgives me. I go, permission to start over. She goes, done. And we literally just go, it's behind us. Right? Very important thing. Momentum versus stagnation. Almost done here. You want to be stagnant, or do you want to have momentum? Intentionality versus reality. Like, my reality is I'm not doing nothing. I keep thinking about it. Tony Robbins says, if you're in your head, you're dead. Get out of your head. What's that mean? Do something. Intentionality, come up with a plan, execute. Acting versus reacting. What's that mean? Well, when someone honks at you and cusses at you, do you honk at them and cuss at them? You're reacting. Or do you smile and wave and go, he must know me. Hey, how you doing? And then, do you like, there's this particular restaurant where everybody at the restaurant pretty much wants to kill you. They're like, I mean, they like, I don't know who the owners are, but it's from them down, but their employees are just horrific. Unfortunately, I really like this restaurant in Puerto Rico. So I've made it my mission to wife to walk in. I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? And I smile at them and they're like, fine. And I just pour the love on, and I come there with love in my heart, and I'm changing the temperature of those employees. And now they see me, they smile, but like they're going to drag you to their side of the world, negative, grumpy, this and that. Or you're going to drag them to your side, drag them to your side of the world. Like, be intentional. Like today, everyone you see, go, hey, how are you? And I'm overdrawn. Do I quite do that? No, but if you try it, it's funny. But I'm fine. How are you? It's like you get what you radiate, what you the energy you put out there. What are you putting out there, man? Like people like, I don't know. I was in Nantucket last week, and I'm doing a FaceTime, and there's people eating. So I'm talking quiet. I'm talking to someone like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, and we can do this, and we do this. And if you try this, I know, and then do this and this. I got all done. I was positive nobody heard me. I'm talking quiet. I have my phone on the side of the building on what's it called? When the lights go out, you have the little flipper buttons. What's it called? Come on, Randy Bird. You used to be a contractor. It's that thing. What?
What are you talking about? A dimmer?
Outside of the building. Outside of the building, it's a box. Fuse box.
Power panel, the breaker box.
The breaker box. There you go. It's like charades. Like I've been out of real estate for 5 years. That thing, the box. And so I put my phone on top of it because we were FaceTiming or Zooming, and I just and I knew nobody heard me. I really kept my voice down because people are having coffee. It's really bougie there in Nantucket Island. And we're talking, I start talking to his wife, and this guy comes up. He goes, I'm so glad you're talking to my wife. It's a weird thing to say. He goes, why? He goes, because I listened to every word you said on that FaceTime Zoom. He's, who are you? I go, what do you mean? He goes, dude, I don't know what you do, but I just want to go do something. I'm so motivated. He goes, I don't even understand, but there's just like this freaking energy coming out of you. He goes, who are you? I go, man, I'm an agent of transformation. He goes, you are an agent of transformation. He goes, seriously, who are you? I'm just a real estate guy. I'm helping people. And he goes, do you have Instagram? I go, yeah. He goes, please give it to me. I want to follow you. It was really like wild. But what is the essence of Jason Hamilton? What is the essence of William Flores? I'm sorry, I can't Flores. Sorry, buddy. I can't have my glasses on. I cannot see a thing. I'm trying to squeeze and it's bad. I put my glasses on. Who is Jim Fury? I'm sorry, Fury. It's probably Fury. I'm sorry, buddy. What's Glenn Johnson all about? Liz Brown, Jim Brantley, Alina, who's sitting in my office right now in Roseville. Hey, Alina, who are you? What you about? What's emanating from you? Is it love? Are people flipping you off? Are they angry? Nobody smiles at me. If you smile at people, guess what they're going to do? They smile back, and if you're a friend, you'll have lots of friends. If you go looking for friends, you won't find any, but if you just be a friend, they're everywhere. So as I wrap this up, I just want to say this: incremental, not monumental. You'll want monumental change. It starts with daily incremental things. Daily incremental decisions lead to monumental success down the road. And everything in your marriage, with your teenage kids, and you just keep speaking love, keep speaking life, keep speaking destiny over your kids, man. If you get nothing outside of day, go hold your kids, tell them you love them, send them a text, tell them how special they are, do a voicemail, and just tell them how your heart is for them, and you're so excited about their future, how awesome it's going to be. Speak life, not death. That's why the Bible says the tongue has the power of life and death. So what are you using it for? You're doing this wrong. You're doing this wrong. Are you building people up or tearing them down? Are you a life enhancer or a well poisoner? I'm done. I hope this was helpful today. I like to call this a little shot in the arm, a little multivitamin for agent attraction. Now, I didn't necessarily give you techniques on agent attraction, but I totally did, right? And so go be love, go be light. And go talk some people out of listing their home and save their marriage. Ask people, go, hey, I know this is weird, maybe, but can I just say a short prayer for you? People go, yeah. And I go, would it be weird if I just touch your shoulder right here and I'll put a hand on them and pray for them? Freaks people out, man. It's awesome. It's so much fun. It freaks them out. And they're like, I'll get a week. They're like, hey, can you pray for me again? I go, yeah, sure, man. It ain't me. It's not Brent Gove has a special hand. My hand's like your hand. It's the love that comes through. That's why the laying out of hands is a powerful thing. I'm just very careful where where I touch people, especially a woman, if you're a guy, right there. That's it. Don't do this. Don't do that. Anyways, hope this was helpful. Love you all. We're starting the Mastering Sales with Brent Gove in like 5 minutes. So if you want to hang out, you can come back for that. That's about a 15-minute talk. It's broker agnostic for everybody. This was specifically, although this would have been great for anyone. So anyways, love you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you later.